Hi there, this is Barbara Burns from Art and Soul Insider Creation Time. So I'm very happy that you're here. Today we've got a whole bunch of different stuff to do. But again, welcome if you're looking for a little time away from your regular life, that you are looking for a little me time. You have arrived to the perfect place, because what we're going to do is we combine art and wellness together to create, well, a really nice, warm, nurturing hour of your time. And that's what I hope. We have guided meditations, or sometimes I'll do a reading, which today I'm going to do a reading. And then after that, what we do is we play. I also share supplies that you might have never seen before, or supplies that are quite new to you. So we're going to test that out and see how you like it, and hopefully you do. And yeah, so today we're going to continue on with the intention cards. And what the intention cards are they're basically self-care cards. And they're self-care cards in the fact that we're going to be placing a little bit of goodness in them, just to be little reminders to ourselves to take good care of ourselves, because it's so important. We're so busy with so many different things in our lives that just to have a little reminder of what we need to do just to get back to center makes a huge difference. So if you're interested in that, hang on and we'll get to that. But first, we're going to share some supplies with you. So here are our supplies. So it's one thing that I'm going to be sharing with you, but I have many of them and they are brand new to me. So I'm really excited to use them. These are called Stabilo Woodies, or a Woody. They're called 3-in-1 because on the package, this is what they say. They're a multi-talented pencil. Okay, so they're a coloring pencil, they're a wax crayon, and they're a watercolor all in one. So very much like what I showed you last week with the watercolor pencil crayons and the watercolor wax pastels, these are kind of along the same lines. Now, why did I buy these? I bought these in different colors just so that when I'm actually creating a work of art, when I'm doing an acrylic, I like to mess up my paper. Like, I wouldn't have all this other stuff. This is just extra stuff. But I would want to get the surface going in something like that. And then, just color in certain areas just to mark up the paper. Just to get that over that, oh my gosh, the white piece of paper fear, that sometimes people have. So as I mentioned before, this is a lovely, watercolor. Okay. And as I mentioned before, you can group it together and look at that gold. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Yeah. So just things like that. You can just mess things up to get your paper going. And I've got a whole variety of colors. Now, what you can do also is buy a set. And that's what I did. And I bought this set because the colors sang to me. Now, I could have bought these individually, but I didn't. Sometimes you get a more economical price tag with the set. So that's something to consider if you're going to buy a set. Compare the prices individually, adding them up, or seeing how much the set costs for the amount that you're wanting. So there you go. These are just wonderful. I'm really looking forward to getting these on canvas and paper and stuff like that, and getting started on my big artworks that I'm just going to be loving to do. So here you go. Stabilo Woodies. So for the reading today, what I'm going to be reading from is a Psychology Now magazine. This is in volume 5. When was it put out? It doesn't say. Issue 41. Yeah. I'm not sure when it was put out, but it is volume 5, and it is a newer magazine. So I'm going to be talking to you, or reading to you about being more optimistic. So have a seat, relax, and here's 7 ways to be more optimistic. Number 1, recognize optimism is a choice you can make every day. This doesn't mean you feel positive all the time. It's having the confidence to know that you can cope with whatever life throws you, says Dr. Wheatley. It means acknowledging the negative while making a conscious effort to think of optimistically. For example, it can be as simple as choosing to smile when you feel glum. It's your choice to feel down, or to do something different and more positive to take your mind off of a different direction. You can't control everything, but if there's one thing you can control, it's what you think. Number 2, be mindful of negative thinking. Next time you catch yourself having a negative thought, swap it for a positive one. This might take some practice, but after a while, it'll start to feel more natural, says Dr. Wheatley. If you had a bad day, tell yourself tomorrow will be better, and plan on what you can do to make it that way. Or, if you know you've got a Zoom meeting with a tricky client, rather than approaching it with dread, prepare for the challenge, do your best, but afterwards, let it go. Number 3, practice gratitude. Gratitude allows you to redirect your focus, says Kimberly. When you feel grateful, your mind shifts your focus from what you should have more of to what's good in your life right now. Practicing gratitude is a process of trying your best to see and to be thankful for the positives in your life, even in the midst of a difficult situation. Number 4, turn off the news. How often do you wake up to a perfectly good mood only to turn on the news and you end up feeling angry, disappointed, fed up, fearful, or depressed with everything that's going on in the world? Limit yourself to anything that makes you feel bad, said Dr. Wheatley. If that includes watching the news, then watch something uplifting instead and let that information support you. Number 5, be mindful of who you spend time with. When you surround yourself with people who make you feel happy and relaxed, this automatically makes you feel more positive, explains Dr. Wheatley. That doesn't mean you can share problems or have off days. It's just that you've got a good circle of friends who lifts you up and inspires you. It's easier to feel more optimistic that way. She adds that negativity often comes from spending too much time on our own and overthinking things. That's why it's important to make time for your friends, even if it's just to meet for a walk or talk on the phone. Get active. Rather than complaining, moaning, and feeling sorry for yourself, take a walk, go for a bike ride, or hit the gym, says Kimberly. The idea is to get your body moving. Physical activity releases endorphins, and you're less likely to feel pessimistic with these feel-good neurochemicals circulating in your body. If you don't know where to start, download a fitness app. Number 7, reframe past setbacks. If you find your mind wandering to a past disappointment, such as a job or a relationship that didn't work out, think of all the details you can remember. Try to be as objective as you can. In that way, would you have wanted the situation to turn out better? Now reframe the situation by letting go of what you wanted to happen and write a paragraph about what good came out of it, says Kimberly. Perhaps you get a better job or made a new circle of friends. So that's 7 ways to be more optimistic. Number 1, recognize optimism is a choice you can make every day. Number 2, be mindful of negative thinking. Number 3, practice gratitude. Number 4, turn off the news. Number 5, be mindful of who you spend time with. Number 6, get active. And number 7, reframe past setbacks. So there you go. And it all came from this wonderful magazine, which I really enjoy, and it's called Psychology Now. So here we are once again. Last class we left with these cut out. We cut out 8 of them. Okay. Now we're ready to begin. Now, what did I do? In between this time, I actually went to some magazines and cut out words that meant things to me, like bountiful, karma, fresh start, you deserve, you know, and even this pretty little picture. And I've got some other stuff that I'm going to be using. But here's some examples. Now, a lot of times I just write my words on. I don't necessarily, you know, use words. But this time I'm doing something differently. I'm actually going to be using cutouts. So I'm going to be collaging them on. So yeah, we'll see where that goes today. I'm looking forward to it. So one thing I do is, in order to work on a whole bunch of surfaces at once, I get an actual wood board. It's not that thick. It's maybe 1/4 of an inch. And I paint on this, and you can see how I've painted on this one before, you know, very well. So what I do is then I figured out what I wanted to do with each one. So I have little Post-it notes on these. So I figured out what kind of cutout I wanted on one. And this one, it was, one of my goals was to, what was it? It was to connect with my family. Yeah. So I have this, and I thought, okay, we'll do it sideways, which I'm not even in frame, am I? Hardly in frame. There we go. And then from there, well, first of all, I'd paint and everything and then glue these things down. But I have these over to the side. Now, I kind of figured out what I wanted to do with each card before I actually began. So here, I want to paint with blues on my background. And because the blues, and I'm talking about communicating with my family, that was one of my goals. Then what we can do is then think about, okay, throat, okay, speaking, that's the throat chakra. The throat chakra is actually blue in color. So I was wanting to paint this blue. Now, let's see if I can get this underneath all this pile that I have here. There we go. So this was my list. So you have your list too. So I kind of went through and figured out, which ones do I want? Which ones do I want to do? And I found I picked a lot from relationships. I did have one from money and career, and I had one from health and wellness, and I had 2 from relationships, because I have 5 cards right now. You can do 1, you can do 5, you can do all 8, you can do 20. I mean, I would love to see 20, wouldn't you? That would be amazing. So I've got my list, and I figured out, okay, I want to focus on connect to someone I love. So I was going to talk with that. I was going to specifically thinking about my family, connecting with my family. So with that, then I decided, oh, what visuals would be good? And so I chose a visual that was basically, it looks like a Zoom call, right? And that's me. And then I am talking to my family on a Zoom call. And then I have these words, virtually possible. Because my family lives far away from me, and we all live a distance from each other. So this is one way that we can connect together. So I kind of figured out, okay, that would be great to do something with that. Then there's one that I wanted to do with, connect with nature, or where it was, be in nature, health and wellness. Okay. So this one, I just basically have this word, spring in our steps. Okay. And then on my little card that I wrote here, my little post-it note, I want to have a hilly scene with a path. And then this will kind of go on the bottom of the path, and then the hills in the distance. So to get out in nature and go on a path or something like that. So you see, that's kind of how my mind was working with some of that. You can do you. Just because I'm doing this way doesn't mean that this is the only way. I encourage you to experiment and play. You know, especially these are only 3x5, right? They're not huge experimentations kind of placements, you know. There's not like a huge piece of paper. It's just a little piece of paper. So if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You can either cover it up or you can create it again. So choice is up to you. So now with that, I'm going to take all my post-it notes and place them kind of up above where I can kind of still see them. And I'm going to, because I'm going to paint, I'm going to tape them down. Now, the tape that I use is painter's tape. I highly recommend this. Masking tape works, but it can rip your paper. Okay? This can sometimes rip your paper. Now, sometimes it's a little bit better, but yeah, I would get the painter's tape if you can. Okay? And then we'll go from there. I'm just going to take a little edge, not a huge, I don't want a huge edge, so I'm just going to speed this up so that you can see how quickly this is done, but I'm going to make sure that they're roughly the same edge all the way around, especially for each card, like, you know, each one. There we go. There we go. There we go. All done. So now we're going to start painting. One thing what I want to do is, I think I want to glue down some paper here. There you go. I'm going to see how this works because it might affect the watercolor paint, but we don't know until we try. So I've got some Mod Podge. And I'm just going to place it down . So it has a little pattern on it, see? Whoops, I was doing that off camera here. So see, it has a little pattern on it. So I thought it would be kind of neat to see how that would look. So I want to put that down first and let it dry before we do any painting on top. So now I'm going blues on these two because remember I talked about how the throat chakra, that is the color blue. So I have, where did I put them? Right over here. I've got so many supplies around me, I tell you. So this is from Art Philosophy, and this is their one called Currents. So it has some beautiful greens and blues in there. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous, just gorgeous. So there we go. Do I have my mister? No, I don't have my mister. I put it away. I think I have it upstairs, so I'll have to add a lot more water than normal. So I'm adding some greens in here too, but that's okay, because greens to me have a very kind of warming sort of aspect compared to the blue. And then I kind of am changing the color just because I'm putting a little bit of blue over top, and it'll just look a different kind of blue. So I'm going to go a little deeper in here. Just make this a little bit less transparent like watercolors, okay? I'm going to just brighten these colors up, make them a little more intense. So I'm adding them a little, making them a little bit more well, just more. There we go. That has some nice oomph to it. So I'm going to do about the same with the other one. Okay, I could add water to my watercolor paper, my paper here, but I don't want it diluted. So that's why I'm going straight in with the color on the paper, because I'm not wanting any dilution of the color. Oh, that's green. I don't want green. And let's get some brighter blue in here. There we go. Perfect. Now, I'm really might not do that much more with the background. We'll see. And we'll see how the colors work on top. I might want to do a glaze of watercolor on top of it, but we will see when we get there. Now, this next one is a hilly scene with a path. Okay, so I'm going to get my pencil here. Reach for it. There we go. So here's this is in nature, this one. So I want to make sure it's big enough. So my first hill is going to be like that. And I'm going to make this kind of go like that. As a little path. And I'm going to do another hill. And go like this. See, so it looks like it's going over a hill, coming up. And then I'm going to do a little hill here. Like that. There. Isn't that neat? Just a little optical illusion kind of thing, but it really kind of works. Now, do I have the colors I want for it? Oh, I could use this. So I might use all these good old Art Philosophy ones. This is called Odyssey. Some people, I guess, Odyssey. Depends. So I'm going to just put this one aside. There we go, and pull out this one. So I'm wanting some browns, I think, here for the pathway. So I've got Dubai's a little browny kind of one. Rome is really red. Jordan is a really dark brown. Cusco is a brown. And Budapest is kind of a reddish brown. I'm going to go more Dubai, I think. I'm wanting a little warmer. So I'm going to actually wet my path down. So that's the one I'm wanting to use. I'm just going to place it down, let the water kind of work its magic and make it spread some. So it has to be a little bit more intense when it's closest to you. So the color has to be a little stronger. So I'm going to add more paint, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Okay, so now I'm going to water down, clean my brush, and I'm going to go in here. And it's okay that if it spreads into the other one. See how it leaks into it? Because I'm doing wet on wet on wet. So that's okay. So I'm just going to take some colors in here, make it a little more intense. I'm going to go over with ink on this. Now, know when you're working with watercolors, when it dries, you're going to find it dries lighter. So you'll have these beautiful intense colors that you think are wonderfully intense, but when they dry, they're not going to be as intense. So sorry. There you go. Now I have to let that dry, because if I start to paint, you know, right where I'm wanting to paint, right next door with the grassy knoll as such, well, what's going to happen is it's going to spread all over. And we don't want that. Okay, so leaving it like that, I'm going to come back to that. And I might need to take the the blow dryer to it. I just have to be careful right now because it's really, I added a lot of wetness to there, right? Okay, so I'm going to have to move this up carefully. There we go. There. So now we've got this one, which is, and I just covered it with all my thing. Oh, it was the Buddha. Okay, ready for, I was going to do a sitting meditation sort of thing. So this is kind of be my structure where the person's going to sit. When I'm doing meditating, I do not cross my legs with it, but I'm going to draw someone that's somewhat cross-legged here. At least I'll try. I don't have anything to go by, so I'm just going to do kind of a I don't know if I'm going to leave it because you know what? I'm making it all gold. I don't need feet. Feet would have messed me up, I think. Okay. Should I do that? Should I leave? What do you think? Should I leave the head just like that, or should I put some hair, long hair? I'm going to do some long hair because I have long hair. Let's see how that looks visually as a silhouette. Oh, that still works. Okay. Because you want to make sure that the message still you still got the message if, with everything, right? You want to make sure that the message is received. She really looks like a bodybuilder. Nothing wrong with bodybuilders, I tell you. I used to lift weights a long time ago. I should really lift weights, because they say it is so good for your body. It's so good for, that should actually be a little longer. I'm sketching too much on it. I don't want to sketch too much. It's one of those things where you're sketching too much, and what I'm afraid of is ruining the paper while I'm So I have a gold here. It is in, I've got smaller gold, actually. I may use this one, yeah. So I've got these ones that I shared with you the previous week that are for calligraphy, but I use them in watercolor. So I'm wanting more of the bronzy one. You see that? I like that one. So just take my paints, get that going. Here we go. It's getting a little thicker now. Just needed to sit with the paint or the water for a bit. I don't know if this is in proportion. I haven't studied that with this. So what I might do is do one coat, as what I'm doing right now, let it sit, and then do another coat. There we go. Perfect. Now I need a brown. I think I'm going to take another brown. So I'm going to use that Odyssey, not the Tropics, not the Currents. This one, Odyssey. Well, I was right, Odyssey. I'm wanting something a little deeper. So I'm going to use the Cusco as the platform. Oops. That's the wrong one. That's Dubai. I've switched it around on me. There we go. As soon as I saw that, I was like, no, it's the wrong brown. There we go. Wanting this to be a bit darker. There we go. So, got that. Rinse my brush. And I'm going to blow dry my coming back to my pathway. I'm going to stop that because, well, not too bad, but some of it was blowing away my cutouts. Now, I want to dry my brush a little bit more, and I'm just going to take this paint and kind of spread it like that. There we go. Now I want this to be a rainbow, so I'm going to take the Tropics of Art Philosophy. Now, they're not sponsoring this at all. I'm getting no money from this, but I'm using all of their wonderful ones. This is called the Tropics. Look at these colors. Oh, these colors just make my heart sing. And this is for the rainbow, what I'm wanting for to helping others. And that was underneath my my one about my money and career. So that's what I do with that. So I'm going to use them very similar to what I used before. I'm just going to put the paint down and then see where it takes us. Oh, sorry. I get so involved in my my artwork that I forget that you can't see what I'm doing. So you can see a little bit of what's there, which I'm going to be covering it up anyways. So, oh well. I just realized because I've got a sticker that shows this. I should have had this more on the outer edges. Let's use this green. That's beautiful. There. Kind of a rainbow. Got some brighter colors in there. The deeper blue is a little too deep. I should have gone with a brighter color, like an orange, which like the hibiscus here, but oh well. Anyways. So, take that. Now let that dry. So as you see, do you see how I'm working with things? It's like I gotta let this dry, then I work on this, then I work on this. It all works out really well when you have everything kind of going at once, you know? So that's what I find works really well. So let's go here. Or do I want the currants? I'm wanting a nice green. Oh, this green really makes me happy. I'm going to maybe do that one. I could use a whole bunch of different greens, now that I'm thinking about it. So, let's start with this one, though. Can you see? Look at that. I'm learning, huh? Aren't I? Look at that. I'm learning because I'm wondering if you can see this. And you can. So remember, vivid colors at the front. I'm going to mix this green in there as well. So if it melds together, it melds together. If it doesn't, that's okay. I'm going to go with the distance now. My brush has a little bit of paint left in it, so that works out really nice. So you see what I did? I worked on this one, and then I'm working on this one. So it's kind of kind of giving it space, right? And let's take a little bit of that blue, or green, I mean. Just a little bit. There. So, I'm going to go back again, going back and forth as you see. I'm going to let that dry. And she looks pretty golden. I'm kind of happy with that. So let's do the background. What kind of background would it be? It's for meditation. So meditation's very calming. So calming colors are the cool colors. So greens, blues, purples. Do I have a nice purple? Oh, there's a purple. There's a purple in the Odyssey one. Okay. So right here, it's Amsterdam. So I'm going to just go around here. think her legs should have been longer, but it's okay. It's one of those things where you have to be gentle with yourself. You have to allow yourself to make mistakes and be okay with them. The whole idea is not perfection. The whole idea is expression. And what are you expressing? Now, there are somewhere, granted, there are pieces where I want to be a little bit more, well, on spot with my techniques and stuff like that, and that I'm a little stronger in the way I want them to appear. But at the same time, I find when I'm freer with myself and gentler with myself, the better it is for me. Better it is mentally, emotionally, everything. Now, I'm going to maybe leave that, and then I'm going to go over with it in ink. So I'm not done yet, but I'm done the colors. Let's see. Let's see if we can blow dry that other one. Blow dry this one. So how can you tell when your watercolor is cool or done? I'm getting my words mixed up. You can tell that it's dry if it feels, if it feels cool, it's not done. So I'm okay. So it's still a little wet down here, but it's dry here. So that's where I'm looking for. So that is good. So a little bit of purple still in there. Oh, did I do the wrong green? No, I did the right green. And then we mix with this one. There, just gonna let it go. And now I can do the sky, because this part's dry. So I like this blue. This blue is very nice. If you want to create some clouds in your sky, you take some paper towel, just kind of smoosh them up like that, and then just there we go. Just a little bit of a cloud there. I'm not making it look realistic. It's quite cartoony, and that is good with me. Yeah. So these are dry here. So now what I can do is I can start to glue on my stuff. So, oops. Okay. So this is going to go sideways. Now, I might have to take this off or trim. I mean, you know what? I'm going to trim just a little bit on the top. There we go. Now it fits perfectly. So you see, most of it is covered. But that is okay. I'm okay with that. So now I'm going to take, I have to dry my brush because I had my brush in the water because I didn't want it to solidify on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paint, put some Mod Podge down here. And if I get outside the edges, I'm okay with that because this dries clear. So no worries. I'm going to add some on the back of my paper off screen here. And I'm just going to take it and put it down like so. There we go. Okay, so there. Now we have virtually possible. So that's going to go over part of my card, like part of the white rim. So I'm going to leave that to the end. This one, I'm going to do connection. Press it down. And then I've got little bees. I've got 3 bees. To me, they kind of show the connection, like the people, right? So this one's, I'm making this one upside down, I think I am. Because it's going to face this way. So hopefully I put the bees on all the correct way, I tell you. Get some more glue. There. I think I'm wanting to put some paint over them. I think they're a little too bright. Like they look like, okay, they're just glued down, which in some ways glued down isn't that bad. I'm going to let them dry though. So I'm going to give this a break. This is still pretty wet because of the paper. So I'm going to blow dry this now. Okay, so let's do a blue wash over that. Let's use London in Odyssey. I'm going to go kind of around the bees here just to lighten this, make it not as Is this going to be my best one? Probably not, but the idea is there for me. The notion of connection. And I'm going to be writing on top of it as well once I'm done. A lot of my artwork actually has artwork and words. Now, I don't glue words down. I actually draw them in or, do some other stuff to do the words. But words are very, like I'll have sayings with my major works of art that kind of go together. So that's what makes my art the way it is. It's unique because I use artwork and art words. So there we go. So I'm pretty okay with everything now. Just have to, everything's somewhat dry except for this one, so we'll blow dry it. See how that lightened? Worked out perfectly. So I'm going to now remove. I love the unveiling of the artwork. Oops. Oops, that's ripping. Doesn't it look nice with the little edge there, huh? Yeah, it sure makes a difference. Whoops, that kind of ripped there. See, you're not guaranteed even with the painter's tape, but still it does a decent job. So now what I'm going to do is take an ink pen. There we go. And get my inking going. So now I am going to, with this, glue down my virtually possible. my intention cards. So we have, oh, and I have to finish this one. Meditate. So here's one of them. Okay, ready for the future. Meditate, because meditation really helps my soul, and it really, and meditation comes through Reiki, through meditation naturally, through journaling, that type of thing, where I kind of still myself, and guided visualizations. Then connection, playing with others. Okay, so that's important to me, because sometimes I get too much in my own head, and it's really important for me to connect with others and to get that support from the ones I love. This one, helping others, do what brings you joy. So this really makes me happy, and by helping others, I help myself indirectly. It seems to be. And then the next one is spring in my steps. It's being in nature is very important, and the fact that it really grounds me. I get that fresh air, I get that vitamin D, so many good things from being in nature. I learn so much from nature. And then this one, which goes sideways, is connect with my family, which I do virtually. So it's very important to me. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy these intention cards. I encourage you to make more. And you could use these as, one of these type of things, and you look for the day, you're starting out a new day. What do I need? Oh, I need connection. I need to get together and be with others. So, you could really use your intention cards in just wonderful, wonderful ways. So, again, just have fun with them, play with them, just see where you go with them. Talk to you later. See you next week. So there we go. That was a great class. I really enjoyed it. I really got out a lot out of it. And I hope that you do too. And I hope that you continue to make more cards. I know that's really inspired me to make more. Because I really do believe in having those little touchstones that we can use every single day to inspire us. So just picking one of those cards up and just saying, okay, this is what I need to do today. I really do believe in that. And, I just want these cards to be used by you and for you to have a lot of fun with them as well. So what's going to be happening upcoming? We've got some wonderful things. We've got acrylics, working with acrylics. We've got working with watercolors again. We've got working with ink. We've got lots of stuff coming. So if you need to have a little break from life, please come and be with me. And hopefully at the end of this class that you'll feel revived and refreshed, and just with a little bit more life back into you. So that's my hope. So I really do believe art heals, and I do believe that more art, less stress. So those are kind of my hashtags that I use a lot, and I really encourage you to think about them as well. So art does heal, and I'm really so glad that you joined me today. So with that, I send you off with warm wishes and light and love. Take care. Bye-bye.